free snack bar for sitting through a 3-hour seminar.
What's happening, everybody? JayShockblast here, and here we are with some favorites. We have the Spider-Man characters of LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2. So there are lots of characters that are part of the Spider-Verse that we need to get into. And obviously these are the two main ones that we're going to deal with. Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy, Spider-Gwen and Spider-Man. And you're going to use them quite a bit in the game. Well, definitely at least Spider-Man. I'm glad he's doing this animation right away. A lot of the Spider-Man characters do the same type of things. So, obviously with Gwen and Spider-Man, they're both going to do their little transformation into their standard versions of their characters. There's Peter Parker, and then Gwen pops up, and she is Gwen Stacy. So, we're going to go ahead and bounce on back over to Spider-Gwen. One of the cool things that she does is she busts out her drum kit, and she can sit here and drum. Now, I thought that her band name was supposed to be on there, but I guess not. This does a sonic blast, basically, and it'll shatter glass. So if you don't have Black Bolt, you can do that. So pretty cool. And then, of course, Peter has a couple different costumes. So that was his standard costume, which is basically out of Civil War, I would say. And even Spider-Man Homecoming, his regular suit. This is his homemade suit from Spider-Man Homecoming. And I love it. It's got the hoodie. I really like this costume. I mean, I know it's meant to be like his kind of starter costume, and he always had that generic kind of costume, and this is great. So there you have it. That is the homemade costume for Spider-Man, Peter Parker. And then, of course, the classic symbiote costume. And there it is. A lot of people are really interested in this one. And this costume always looks fantastic. So there you have it. The Spider-Man symbiote costume. Pretty cool. They all have some really great powers. So obviously if we look at the symbiote Spider-Man card, it's going to tell you all of his powers here. I go over these in the individual videos: hyper jump, grapple lift, enhanced senses, acrobat, tightrope, target, technology, wall climbing, double rope and single rope. And basically it talks about how he got the symbiote suit here with the first appearance. And then, of course, we have Spider-Gwen, whoopsie. And her card will tell you all the different stuff that she does. Basically, all of the Spider-Men do, for the most part, the exact same thing. Gwen was bitten by a radioactive spider and developed arachnid-like abilities. Initially, Gwen used her newfound powers for selfish purposes, enjoying that attention that they brought. When her friend Peter Parker turned himself into a lizard creature in an attempt to become special like Spider-Woman, the pair battled. Following the demise of Parker, Gwen has been inspired to become a superhero, changing her name to Spider-Gwen. Edge of Spider-Verse number 2, 2014, is Spider-Woman. So she's been a very popular character in the Spider-Verse and just in general. So I want to bring her back to Spider-Gwen real quick. And one of the cool things that she does is activate selfie mode. So there you have it. A lot of the characters will do some funny things if you get them in the kind of crosshairs here. They'll like ponder, or they'll pose, whatever it may be. There are also different filters that you can use. And it'll show you. Now, these selfies will save themselves for throughout the city. You can change the billboards. I believe Spider-Man does it too. So let's actually get him back to Spider-Man. And yeah, there you have it. So Spider-Man and Spider-Gwen with their selfies. No selfie stick included. Where did she go? There she is. Bring it around, bro. I love it when they do that kind of ponder pose. So there is an achievement in the very first level of the game for taking a selfie with the big celestial Isan. So next up we have Spider-Man 2099, and this is Miguel O'Hara, and he is another version of Spider-Man, obviously from 2099. You unlock him by doing the actual 2099 level. So, oh, they all have like this awesome kind of like web attack. They all basically do the same thing. They're kind of clones of each other. So there you have it. That is Spider-Man 29. Looks sick. Awesome to get him in the game. So we also have Spider-Man Noir. And he is awesome as well. You unlock him during the Noir level, and he shoots guns, which is different. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Woohoo! He does also selfie mode too, but it looks like his selfie mode's a little bit different. He looks down. So there you go. $20.99, and you've got Miguel O'Hara. And you've got Noir. I'm not going to show all their cards in this video because there's plenty of other opportunities to look at their cards in other videos. We have Agent Venom, Flash Thompson. Love this character. They did a really great job with him. This is his awesome kind of power-up move. So there you have it. Alright, so we are only dealing with spider characters. I know there are other characters that have been like on the shows and are loosely related, but these are just the spiders, and we'll do their villains. Aracnido Jr. This is basically the Mexican Spider-Man. I did not know anything about this guy whatsoever. The Spiderverse is just so massive at this point, and you know, we've got Aracnido Jr. So he is, I think you unlock him in Egypt, but he looks pretty dope. And there he is. I want to make sure I don't forget anybody. Here we have some more symbiotes. We have Carnage. You know, these are not obviously Spider-Men, but they are symbiotes, and I feel like the symbiotes are associated with Spider-Man. So Carnage is pretty awesome. I love the design on his costume. He's not just all red this time. Looks really, really dope. He does not grow. He does not get big, which I know some people are maybe a little sad about. But I don't really remember him going that big before, but I might be wrong. So there you have Carnage. And oh wait, hold on. What did he do there? Oh, he just put his gun away. Okay. And we're gonna go from Agent Venom to Venom. You'll unlock Carnage and Venom together in Gwenpool mission number 8, which has you go to Oscorp. And Agent Venom is actually the character you have to unlock in Nueva York in order to unlock the mission to unlock both Venom and Carnage. You also unlock a lizard during that level. So one of the cool things about Venom is he does his animation where he turns himself into a big fig. Now what I love about the big fig this time around, he's not hulking over. He's actually, it looks a little bit bigger. He's not just standing upright, and he's got like, he feels more like Venom this way, you know? So yeah. So there you have it. And then there is also a $20.99 version of Venom, which is just basically, you gotta love Carnage's little pose there. Which is basically just a another kind of ooh, I don't think we tried this yet. That was actually awesome. Looked like something big was going down on top of the Avengers mansion. It's just basically a new skin on Carnage and Venom. Carnage actually doesn't do anything like that, so that was actually kind of cool. So we're back up at Carnage, and I'm just scanning to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Since we're doing the, I'll come back to some of the villains actually. We'll go over them individually. I just want to make sure I don't miss any of them. I think the rest of them are all at the end, but you know how it goes. You don't plan it out right. And alright, so here we go. We got Scarlet Spider. This is a clone of Spider-Man, aka Mae Riley. Really, really cool looking costume. I mean, this is definitely one of the classics, one of the fan favorites when it comes down to you know, the Spider-Man. So be interesting to see what you can do for different Spider-Man costumes with the character creator. I haven't really dabbled in it much, and I plan on getting into it. But, you know, actually, I think he does what all the other Spider-Men do. You unlock him by doing a race in Noir, York. Venom 2099, I honestly actually don't remember off the top of my head how I unlocked him. I think it was a boss battle. Actually, there's a way to find that out. Pretty sure he was a boss battle. But we can go here. I lied, he was not a boss battle. So, I'd have to look at my notes. I don't have it in front of me. But, sorry about that. Not helpful. Somebody can leave it in the comments, though. Next up, we have Silk. And she is one of the Spider-Verse characters out there. Pretty popular. I believe she's Sydney Moon. I believe she's of Asian descent. So there she is with her hang. I think a lot of people are probably pretty happy to see Silk in here. She hasn't really gotten a ton of attention in the gaming verse. So there you have it with Silk.
Okay. Visit, live, destroy. Noir, Nueva York, Hydra Empire.
Next up we have, oh man, Spider-Ham. Peter Porker. That is right, Peter Porker. And this is a character that, you know, makes sense for this game. Not a character I ever really wanted, but he's probably one of the great parody characters of Marvel Comics. And let's face it, I mean, LEGO games are mostly for kids, you know? I mean, they are definitely the target audience, is children. I mean, they're made for adults too. I mean, look at me, I'm playing it and I'm loving it, every minute of it. So, you know, it's just really cool to see this actual character. Having seen him in the game, I really kind of feel like, I really feel like this makes me appreciate the character a little bit more. So, we have Peter Porker, Spider-Ham. Next up, we have a big-time fan favorite. We have Miles Morales' version of Spider-Man. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be really excited about Miles Morales being in the game. He does not turn into Miles, though, so he just stays in his Spider-Man form. So there you have it, Miles Morales, Spider-Man. He basically, like I said, does all the things that a lot of the other characters do. He does have his own little move right here, though, which is kind of cool because he's got some energy powers. So, I mean, you guys know who Miles Morales is at this point. I don't really have to go that far into it. But you unlock him when you unlock Gwenpool. The final Gwenpool mission unlocks when you have done all 9 Gwenpool missions. And you unlock him and Gwenpool at the end of the level. It's not like a hidden token. It's just a character that unlocks as part of the level. So what I would say is I've got videos up on how to unlock all the Gwenpool missions and videos for the Gwenpool missions. I would say once you unlock free roam, if you're really itching to get yourself Miles Morales, I would at least get yourself through all those Gwenpool missions. They're pretty quick, and you're going to unlock, I mean, probably about 30 or 40 characters along the way. So there you have it. There is Miles Morales. Then we have Spider UK. You know, TT Games is based in the United Kingdom, England, so it makes sense for them to want to have a character like this. It's their country, their character. So I can't get mad at that, you know? And I think Spider-Verse characters are really, really great characters to have in the game. I expected it to be very Spider-Verse heavy when I saw that they were going to, you know, be focusing more on, you know, Avenger type characters, and obviously not the other 2 main groups that we will not name. I mean, I would have loved to have seen a lot of other Spider-Verse characters well ahead of this. I mean, probably Spider-Punk being one of them. But, you know, again, you gotta shout out your country, and I respect that. So, next up we have Spider-Woman. And Spider-Woman does not actually web sling, she actually flies. And she's more of an energy-based power person. She's not the same as the other Spider-Verse characters. Her powers are a little bit more, you know, unique and different. So she is a little bit different in that regard. She has like an energy beam instead of the little web power, and of course she flies. I would have rather they did her Marvel Now costume, but I'm not a beggar, so I won't be a chooser. Oh man, we've got Spider-Woman, and we've got another spider. We have Superior Spider-Man, and this is Otto Octavius, Doc Ock. He takes over the body of Spider-Man, and with his like a weird mind thing. Very, very controversial story for many, but a lot of people also really like it. Now, they had Superior Spider-Man in the first Marvel game, so, you know, it is what it is. I think this is definitely a good character to include here. And, you know, he does his... Oh, he does like a little kind of tornado thing. I feel like I've seen that before, but I don't know why it seems new to me. So, there you have the Superior Spider-Man. And I think that is it for the Spider characters. There is also a Spider Lady, who I will do at the end because I only have her on Xbox. So I will kind of add her on at the end. But for now, let's go through and we are going to check out and see all of the Spider-Man villains that made it into the game. So we've already seen Agent Venom, and we are going to look at Black Cat right now. So here is Felicia Hardy, very acrobatic. I mean, she's kind of like an anti-hero. Like, she wants to be good, but she's totally bad. So there you have the Black Cat. Look at that. I think she shatters glass with that. So, Black Cat. Next up, we've already gone through many of these. So we've got Electro. Oh no, we've got Doc Ock. Now Doc Ock is a huge step up from what he was in the last game. Absolutely love the animations here. You know, very, very awesome. They did a really great job with Doc Ock. I would consider this a big fig. So, Otto Octavius. Next up we have Electro. There's two versions of Electro. One of them is... They're both awesome. I actually really like Electro. I don't know what it is. Like, this is a really cheesy costume, I think, for a lot of people, but I love this costume. Like, this is really cool to me. And he flies. He does electricity. Electro is my go-to for electricity instead of Thor, which is crazy when you consider the fact that my dog's name is Thor. But the reason for that is because both Electro costumes, this one being $20.99, really look awesome to me. They both fly, which Thor also does, but you don't have to, like, call on Mjolnir to pull down the thunder. So it's one extra step you don't have to do. So that's why I end up using Electro way more than I use Thor. Love this costume. Really awesome about it. It's a very, very pleasant surprise for me personally. So that is Otto Octavius. Next up we have Goblin 2099, one of the 2099 characters. So there you have it. I think a lot of people are a little annoyed at having to do his race, but you know, what can you do? There's also the Green Goblin. To unlock him, you have to do quite possibly my least favorite race in any LEGO game ever. And that that is no small task. But I love Green Goblin. He is phenomenal. And you definitely want to get Green Goblin or Hobgoblin as quickly as you can in the game. Because by unlocking them, you will have the best characters to do races in the game. So here is Hobgoblin. Hobgoblin is in the game for the first time. Him and Green Goblin are essentially clones of each other, just with slightly different skins. And Hobgoblin is awesome. These guys are bitter rivals, but both hate Spider-Man in the comics. And I love their animations. They're evil. I love their pumpkin juggling. Really, really great characters. You definitely want to get them. I have videos on how to unlock them both up right now, so definitely check those out. I want to make sure I didn't go by anybody over here. Right, so... obviously, we have Jonah Jameson, which throws newspapers. I'm not going to spend too much time on him because he's a passover, I guess, a pushover. We have Kingpin, who I know has been used as a villain for a lot of characters, but mostly Daredevil. But he also has tons of run-ins with Spider-Man, so shout-outs to him. We have Mysterio. Booyaka, booyaka. Re Mysterio. Not that Mysterio. So he's like, "Saw, dude. Watch me phase out. I'm out of here, brah." I love Mysterio, man. I don't know why, but like this character in both games has been one of my favorites, and he's definitely great in this game as well. We have Kraven the Hunter.
What shall I be hunting today?
They definitely found a way to upgrade him in this game, and he looks phenomenal. I mean, you really can't complain about Kraven. He does all sorts of great things, has great mannerisms. Those are the little subtle things that TT Games gets right that I really appreciate. So you have Kraven the Hunter. He shows up in the second story of the game. You have the Lizard, and you unlock him in the same level. You unlock Carnage and Venom. I think he is the actual character token though, so you do have to get that character token, and it's at the very end of the level. So what can you do? He does not transform to Kurt Connors in this one, but alas, we do have the Lizard. We have Morbius. Morbius the Living Vampire, a welcome addition. I know I did a video of top 10 Spider-Verse characters, or I don't know if I did Spider-Man villains or just Spider-Verse characters in general that I really wanted to see in the game, and Morbius was at the top of the list, very, very high. He is an acrobat, and he does this.
Turns out the Cave of Dragons did have an actual
he is a character you will want to unlock so that you can do one of the quests, and you can unlock him in Old England, one of the Gwenpool quests. So next up we have, I mean, Nick Fury doesn't really count. We have Rhino, and Rhino is awesome. You do need a motorcycle to unlock Rhino, and you do not want to use Ghost Rider's motorcycle. That's the first motorcycle that is unlocked for you. But it is very hard to maneuver and very slow. I think I ended up unlocking Captain America's motorcycle, and I used that. I don't recall how I unlocked the motorcycle, but I think it was something fairly easy. Next up we have the Sandman, and I think they did an okay job with Sandman. He definitely could have been better. I do like the fact that he transforms into a cannon, and you can shoot things with him. And he does kind of go underground. I don't really know what that does. It might shatter glass. Lost opportunity is him not transforming into a big fig. I would have liked to have seen them do that with him. Even just a giant big sand, like all the same color with just a face drawn on, They didn't really have to go that crazy with anything, but a little bit of a lost opportunity there. But I think everybody's going to be pretty excited to get their hands on Sandman. So next up we have Scorpion Mac Gargan, and he is awesome. I think a lot of people are really going to love Mac Gargan. And some lasers. They did a really good job with Scorpion. There's a pretty cool move where if I actually turn on extras, infinite power gauge. There's a cool move where he like turns into a ball. Whoops. This is the downside of having this on, is sometimes when you go to switch characters, it doesn't quite let you. So here you have Shocker. He might do it. Nope. Oh well. So you have one version of Shocker, and then you have the second version of Shocker. So these are the two Shockers. Classic Shocker, he's been in the game before. And then you have Bokeem Woodbine's version of Shocker from Spider-Man Homecoming. Pretty cool character. So there you go. That's a pretty cool team up. Alright, so after the Shocker, we have... I mean, I guess you could say Stanley. I mean, he does his spider swinging, just like he always does. And he shoots his webs. So yeah, and he's got Spider-Man on his shield right at the top. Oh, his bad back.
I was just about to take a trip to the Antarctic, so this actually worked
Obviously, you
out
have to
well.
unlock all the Stanleys in peril to unlock him. And... last, but certainly not least, we have the two versions of the Vulture. And that was actually really cool. That is Vulture 1, and this is Vulture 2 from Spider-Man Homecoming. They are awesome. Vulture number 2 from Homecoming is a boss battle that you will do in... I want to say... No, actually, he's a race. No, yeah, he's a race. Classic Vulture is a boss battle in Xandar, I believe. And Vulture from Homecoming is a race up in Attilan. So I love the Homecoming costume. I think he's a really awesome version of the character. They have some really cool team-ups together. And that is that. Those are all the characters in the vanilla version, the standard roster that is LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2. And if you give me one moment, we'll go ahead and show off the DLC character from the Spider-Verse that comes with the launch DLC early access. And like I said, there is one character that I have that is available in the Out of Time DLC. This is Spider Lady, aka Mae Riley. She is part of the Spider-Verse, and she is available with the Out of Time DLC. It was an early access DLC code that I got for pre-ordering the game from GameStop, so that is why I'm able to use her. She is the only Spider-Verse character that is available as part of the DLC right now, and she's basically a lot like, Superior Spider-Man. It does not look like she has anything that she does when you hold down circle, but there she is, the Spider Lady. And everybody will have their opportunity to get her at some point when the DLC does come out. So just kind of hang tight there. But without any further ado, that is all the Spider-Verse characters. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think. Who's your favorite Spider-Man, Spider-Verse character, or villain? We'll see ya.